Right. So, how's your body? Good. Right, everybody at home, take a comfortable seat. And just check that you've got everything nearby you that you might need. Pillow, blanket, blocks, bolster, extra pillows. And if it feels comfortable, begin to close your eyes down. Allow your palms to rest onto your thighs in such a way that you can feel a sense of release and softening of the shoulders down away from the ears. Feel into the support that you're sitting upon. Gently press your sit bones downward into your support. As you do so, feel a sense of lift and lengthening up both sides of your waist. Feel the sense of lightness through the spinal column, up through the crown of your head. Draw the chin in and down, and feel how this lengthens the back of the neck. And then imagine that you're softening your upper palate and the roof of your mouth slightly back. Softening the tongue away from the roof of the mouth. Allowing the teeth to be slightly separated. Feeling the shoulder blades on your back. Slide down your back and notice how this descends the shoulders down away from the ears. Now journey into your breath in both sides of your nostrils. And follow the natural inhale, exhale, in and out of the body. And as you observe your breath, notice if there is any difference between the inhale and exhale. Notice the pause at the peak of your inhale. And notice the pause at the end of your exhale. Imagine that your breath is going around like a circle. Imagine as you inhale, starting at the bottom of the circle, like 6 o'clock. You breathe all the way up, you pause, and the breath circles down and around, and pause. See how soft and subtle you can make your breath. And notice that when we allow the breath to slow down, we allow a sense of softness to our breath, the mind can begin to soften. Wherever your breath goes, your mind will follow. So when we're very busy in our minds, we don't notice our breath. So now we're asking the mind to be present for our breath. Journey into your physical body. Notice how your body is feeling today, the physical body. The muscles, the tendons, the ligaments, and the joints. Even feeling the subtleness of the organs within your body. How has the digestive system been for you today? How has your blood sugars been? How would you perceive your liver and gallbladder to be today? Stomach, spleen, lower bowel. These intricate parts that we don't see, but we can become aware of. Notice your bones, your joints. We dive into the mind. How and what have you been thinking today? If you've been at work, how's your mind been? And if you've been at home, how has your mind been? And when you notice and observe how you've been thinking, behind that, how have you been feeling? There's two different sides within us. Just observe the sort of emotions that you have felt throughout your day. You can come back to the awareness of your whole body, knowing that you are made up of many layers. Come back to your breath. The awareness of your body on the mat. From this place of awareness, open your eyes, and then we'll come to a standing position to warm up. In the last class, we're going to be flowing through the movements of our spine using the yin poses. So let's start warming up to the top of our mat. We're going to do several slow rounds of a salute to the sun, so bring your palms into the centre of the chest. We'll just allow the breath to flow naturally and focusing and feeling more on a physical movement. Allow the breath to do what it needs to do. We'll sweep the arms wide and high and take the gaze overhead if comfortable. We'll bend the knees, hinge from the hips, take the hands to our shins and from here to a half lift. And press your face away from the floor and slide your shoulder blades down the back. From here, bend the knees so your hands are on the floor and the right leg steps back and the knee is on the mat. Relax the back foot down, shift your weight back and then raise your arms overhead, grounding through that front foot. We'll take the hands either side, come back to the hands and the knees. From here to do a cat-cow, so draw the palms back to us, draw the sternum forward and then curl under, pressing the floor away. Feeling into the physical movement of the spine. As you draw your palms towards you, feel the shoulder blades on the back slide back. And when you curl under, chin to chest, elbow under. We'll stay here 2 more times, warming into the movement of our spine. We come back to the hands and the knees, curl the toes under, shift your buttocks back towards the heels, and then press down through your palms and use the strength of the legs to lift the sit bones up to the ceiling, soften the heels to the floor. And then we're going to step the left foot between the hands, take the back knee on the ground, shift your hips back, then raise your arms up, lengthening through the fingertips. Take the hands down either side, curl the back toes under, lift the back thigh knee off the ground, and then bend the back knee and step the back foot forward and come to a forward fold, bending the knees as much as you need to. Bend the knees, shift your weight back, press through your feet, lift your arms forward and up, bring the hands into the centre of the chest. So that's half around. Sweep your arms wide and high, follow the gaze. Bend the knees, hinge from the hip creases, dive down, hands to the shins, and doing a half lift. Press your face away and slide your shoulder blades down the back. Bend the knees and send your left leg back. Take the knee on the mat, relax the back foot down, pressing down through that front foot, raising the arms up. Take the hands either side, come back to the hands and the knees. And we'll do 2 cat curls, drawing the sternum forward, palms draw back. One more to complete. And come into the hands and the knees. Shift your buttocks towards the heels. Press down through your palms. Lift your sit bones up to the ceiling. Soften the heels towards the floor. From here, step your right foot between the hands. Soften the back knee down, look forward, and then step your back foot forward. And bend the knees as much as you need to for a forward fold. Press through your feet, bring your arms forward and up. Bring your hands down into the centre of the chest. From here, have your feet about hip width apart. Dive your arms wide and high, crossing the wrists, lengthen through the fingers, and then float the arms down, chin to chest, tailbone lengthens down, navel to spine. On the inhale, dive your arms wide and high, across the wrists and lengthen through fingertips. On the exhale, dive the arms out, chin to chest, navel to spine. Breathing in, arms forward, all the way overhead, open up, draw the breath into the chest. And as you breathe out, recross, dive the arms down, chin to chest, navel to spine. We'll do that one more time on the inhale, raising the arms wide and open up. And as you breathe out, recrossing and floating the arms down. And just relaxing the arms out to the side. From here, interlace your fingers behind you with your elbows slightly bent. Draw your forefingers down towards your heels. Draw your shoulder blades together. Shine your chest forward. From here, bend the knees, send your sit bones back. We can stay here or comfortable. Chest onto the side and maybe chin to chest, relaxing the arms over the back of the head. Relax your hands onto the buttocks, release the fingers. Bring the arms forward, send the weight back into the heels, press for your feet to come up, interlace your fingers, take a breath in and over to your left as you breathe out. Breathing in, press for your feet to come up. Breathing out over to the right, pressing out through your palms. Inhale to come up, and we'll do one more time on each side. Pressing out through your palms and pressing down through your feet when we come up. Inhale to rise, and exhale, releasing the arms out and down. From here, just relax the arms down. We're just going to warm into the neck. So drawing the chin slightly in and down. And with the eyes, we're going to look to the right as we turn the head to follow the eyes. The eyes are looking to the front, the head is following. Very slowly, your eyes are looking to the left and the head is following. As we breathe in, we look to the front. On the out breath, the eyes are looking to the right, the head is following. Keep going one more time slowly. So rather than turning your head, do the eyes and the head's following the eyes. This can sometimes create more of an easeful movement rather than just focusing on turning the head. We're focusing more with the eyes are leading. Come back to the centre and relax and roll the shoulders. So the first pose we're going to go into is a forward flexion and it's dangling. So what we can do is we could set ourselves up with two blocks. I'll just show some examples. And we could bend the knees and relax the forehead. It could be like this. Or we could be dangling the elbows and the forearms like this. Or if appropriate for the spine, we could come down holding onto the elbow. So choosing for yourself a dangling with bending the knees as much as you need to and finding what support that you need. Because we're going to be here for 3 minutes. So find the awareness of what you need to support the knees and allow a sense of support through the spine. You could even be using a chair and placing your hands onto the seat of the chair to lessen the forward flexion. So this is more about a sense of traction and release through the spine, back of the neck and head, as we ground through our feet and feel a sense of opening and lengthening through the back of the knees and the back of the thighs. Now, if it feels appropriate, without locking the knees, start to lengthen up through the back of the thighs, but again, checking in that we're not locking the knees. If this creates a sense of sensations in the spine that is to the right, and again bend the knees. Draw the awareness. Feel that as you breathe in, you're breathing up through the soles of your feet, up the back of the legs, into the sacrum. And as you breathe out, you're flooding your breath down the spine, out through the crown of your head. Keep feeling and drawing this orbit of your breath up the back line of your body to sacrum, down the spine and out through the crown of your head. And if you are holding your elbows, then take hold in the opposite way, swapping hold of the elbows. Stay here for the next minute and a half. Deeply feeling we can relax the weight of our head. Have a sense of lengthening and release through the spine that feels right for us. Have a sense of opening and lengthening through the back lines of our legs. Support of the floor beneath you. Release of the crown of your head and the chest towards the thighs. A few more breaths here. On the diaphragm, we're going to bend the knees, take your feet out to the side, and we're going to come into a squat. Now, I'm just going to move so I can find a block. So a squat might be to squat onto one or two blocks, making sure that we're turning the knees out to the side and the knees are over the second or third toe. So you might sit on one or two blocks. If you don't need to sit on a block, then that's fine. If you need to have more height, you could even squat sitting onto a chair and have your feet turned out. You can press the elbows onto the knees and relax the forehead into the hands. We can relax the arms down. Find a way that feels right for us. We're going to be staying here for 2 minutes. If you find that squatting onto 2 blocks, a bolster, over time feels a sense of softening into the hip press, then maybe you might want to try taking the block away. But if it places too much pressure onto the kneecaps, then go back and use whatever support, pillows, bolsters or blocks. And here we begin to comfortably lengthen our exhale. Take that awareness of grounding through our feet, downward, lengthening the tailbone down. We're here for a few more breaths. And from the squat, just slowly coming down. And then straighten the legs out in front of us. From the squat, we're going to go into the butterfly pose to open into the back line of the spine again. So bringing the soles of our feet together. I'll just go over the options again. Maybe sitting onto the top of a pillow, just to take that compression and lift down that lower back. Maybe we don't need anything, we're here. We might be softening the forehead down. We could be using 1 or 2 blocks. Or if we need to support the knees, rolling pillows or a bolster underneath the knees. Maybe using a block as well. So there's lots of different options to hold us. We're going to be here for 5 minutes. So please find For support, whether it be the floor or anything else at home that feels right for you. And here we begin to soften the awareness of our breath. And begin to create a sense of comfortably lengthening both our inhale and our exhale. The next time you breathe out, see what it feels like to breathe in for a count of 4 and breathe out for a count of 4. If you have played with this breath ratio, it feels comfortable, stay with it. You need to bring it down to 3 count, do so. And throughout the class, over time, if it feels right, you might even wish to see what does it feel like if I was to breathe in for 5 and out for 5. As you stay there in the butterfly pose with the awareness of the breath and the count of the breath you're working with, I'm going to read this little poem by a very famous person that lived a long time ago called Rumi. And it's about how we can bring that awareness of basically the greatness, the self-love of ourself back into ourselves. Bringing our sense of connection to source and the word God being our own and a connection to self. Inside this clay jug, there are canyons and pine mountains, and the maker of canyons and pine mountains. All 7 oceans are inside, and hundreds of millions of stars. The acid that tests gold is here, and the one who judges jewels, and a music that comes from the strings that no one touches, and the source of all water. If you want the truth, I will tell you the truth. Friend, listen, the God whom I love is inside. So you might wish to have the awareness of this beautiful clay jug, the vessel of your own being, your own body, and wonder at the immense amount of light that you carry inside yourself. Staying with your breath within the pose. See what it's like to settle a little bit deeper into a sense of stillness here. And taking one more round of the breath and the count that you're working with. Slowly coming all the way up. If you're on a pillow, maybe just come off there. We're going to do 1, 2 wipers for several rounds to release and keep things wide apart as you mat. And then we'll come over to the right side first. We'll take the knees over to the right, over the left shoulder, and come back to the center. We'll just keep flowing like this, allowing the breath to carry the knees from side to side. Bring your hands a little bit closer if you find that you're walking forward. Side to side. Rough time on each side. All the way back. And sitting to the top of the cushion, we're going to go into a wide straddle pose. So I'm going to take the legs comfortably out to the side. And this is where we might want one or two blocks, and then maybe a bolster handy as well. So we're going to sit onto where the height suits us first. And we're going to be coming over our right leg first. So shifting the rotation chest over your right leg. When you start to make that journey forward, you can bend the knees as much as you need to. And when you find that you've come towards that edge, we can stay here. We can find the height of the block to soften the forehead to. We can also use a bolster, soften the forehead or support the hands in. Then pillows, neck points, soften to. We'll be here for a few minutes, so finding the edge of your forward fold on the side. Once we come to that edge, about 70% of our maximum, we stay in the stillness. We invite softness, melting over that leg. And bring the awareness back into our breath. Working again with the count that fits right for you. You find that your mind wanders off, the imagination that we have. Bring it back into feeling the sensations of the pose within your body. Bring it back into being present, observing the breath. Being present to what you're thinking. Circulating this awareness throughout. Taking on the round of the breath here. And slowly coming all the way up. And making our way to the torso, chest rib cage over the left leg. Hinging forward. Finding the props, softening and holding here. So whether you're using bolsters or pillows, or blocks, or just the support of the ground in your body. Approach the edge with awareness. Soften. Stillness. Be in your breath. One more round to the breath here. And slowly coming all the way up. Center. And folding forward, finding blocks or bolsters. Finding placement. So it's softening the head. Softening the legs and feet. Then using to support the chest and torso and forehead, pillows, bolsters. Staying here for several minutes. Settle into softness. Into breath. And just stay here within the pose, following the breath. For here and now. Living in the present moment is the only way to tame the mind. When the mind throws us into turmoil, thinking of the past and worrying about the future, by noticing our breath, the inner sensations of the body, the light around us, the ground beneath our feet, we begin to find ourselves in the here and now. The question, what if, ceases to plague our days, and slowly acceptance begins to flower. Staying here for another minute, here and now. Natural breath. Slowly using this inhale to bring yourself up. Just take hold outside of the legs, together. Straighten the legs out in front of you. And just take the heels out so you're turning your big toes, your big toes are touching. So just give a little bit of patience. Count to take your hands behind you. Walk your hands together, drawing your shoulder blades together to that chest. And just bring the legs and do a little wobble from side to side. From here, we're going to go into the supported bridge pose to go again the extension of the spine. So we'll take a block or a pillow and come onto our back, so the feet comfortably about hip width apart, facing forward. And then lift the buttocks up, find the block or pillow, place it underneath the sacrum where it feels comfortable. Just so the feet on the floor to begin with. Taking the arms out to the side where it feels right for you. And for the first minute, we're going to stay with the feet on the floor, the knees bent. And just allow a sense of softening of the sacrum down into the block. A sense of softening of the lower abdomen, pelvis into the block. And a sense of settling of the internal organs. A little bit of this inversion, lifting the sacrum up, allowing everything to settle back down. Draw the awareness up into the base of the throat. Moving into the Ujjayi breath, where we lightly constrict the base of our throat. Draw the breath softly through the base of our throat to the back. Imagine. Feel that we're breathing out of the base of our throat. Continue here, practicing the Ujjayi breath, soft and subtle. The awareness of drawing the breath in and out of the base of the throat. Practicing softening, lengthening, deepening each and every inhale and exhale. And we can stay in the supported bridge with the feet on the floor. Or we can say, what does it feel like if we were to straighten our legs and maybe adjust the arms or keep the arms where they are. Again, allow the block to provide gentle extension, lifting up into sacral-lumbar area. You can have a play to see whether it feels right to have the leg straight again, where the arms feel right for you. Settle into the rhythm again of the Ujjayi breath. Drawing breath in and out of the base of the throat. The legs are straight and bend the knees, take the feet on the floor, bring the arms down. Lift the buttocks up, remove the block, and hug the knees into the chest. Stay hugging the knees, or we can circle the knees. Just see what feels right, just hugging or circling. And if we're choosing to circle, go slowly in opposite direction. We'll just stay hugging the knees and mounting the sacrum tailbone into the floor. And I'm going to roll over to the side. I'm going to go into the Sphinx pose. We're going to use either a bolster or a couple of pillows. And using a blanket to place underneath the top of our thighs. And we use a block to also rest our forehead on. So with this, we're going to rest the top of the thighs on top of the blanket. And we're going to bring that elbows and forearms and wrists on the floor in front. Very nice. So we can either bring the head into more extension, or we can soften the chest, or use our forehead to rest onto the block as well. So we're going to be in the Sphinx pose for 5 minutes. So finding, again, the placement that allows you to settle into this pose. I'm just going to hear me turn on the heat pump in the studio at the moment. in the Sphinx pose, settle the awareness of your breath down into the area of the spine where it comes and joins tailbone, sacrum, diffused bones. Feel a sense that we can direct our breath here, a sense of softening. And out, shoulders, elbows and forearms, feel that can soften down. Softening of the vertebra into the floor. Tailbone is lengthening back to the heels. You might come up into seal pose. So you're going to take the hands and turn them out to the side. And press down, so you can use either that bolster or pillow and just allow it to support us and still take upliftment and feel that extension to the spine. If it doesn't feel right, then come back and stay into the Sphinx pose. Otherwise, we're coming up and staying into the seal pose for 1 minute. Okay, so soften. Down. Bolsters or pillows out of play. Come into a forward flat push. Where we bring one knee up, bring the elbows and forearms over, and rest the head onto the side. Recovery with flat push is going forward I'm just going to be here for a few breaths, just offsetting into the extension of the spine with the sphinx and seal pose. Feeling the gentle breath and the rhythm of the breath in the abdomen. More breaths here. Straighten that leg and lift the hips up and back. And then counter back into close child for a few breaths. Feel that gentle sinking of the chest and the abdomen onto the thighs. Softening of the sacrum and buttocks onto the heels. Slowly bring up. So from here we'll go into more of a lateral movement of the spine, so the flexion and extension. We go into a lateral movement, just side bending with the banana pose at support. So maybe a blanket to support the neck over here. See how you go. We're going to lie on our back. So feel a nice straight line in the spine. And we'll take the arms over the back of the head. And let's take the right leg off to the side of the mat. So we stay on the back, we're not coming over to our side. Bring the left leg to meet the right. And then coming over to the right, so you're making this crescent moon shape. So we stay on the spine, shoulders are on the floor. And holding on to the left wrist with the right hand if that feels comfortable. See how that left hip feels if you were to cross your left ankle on top. And we want to be able to roll both buttocks back down into the floor. So if you're not feeling any opening along that left side of your body, just see if we can maybe come more into that C shape, provide a gentle traction of drawing up onto the left wrist. Soften and mount that left hip and buttock back down. Perhaps closing the eyes. Maybe allowing the right ear to roll towards the floor. Maybe here for a few minutes, breathing along the sideline of the body, along the left side of the body. Nice to experience your breath along the side of the body by starting down at that little toe, and as you breathe in, draw the breath up the left side of the body, curving it around all the way to your little finger. When you breathe out, feel your sliding your breath down, the little finger down the side of the body around to the left. Drawing the breath with awareness along that left side of the body. Expansion, softening into the rib cage. Softening and lengthening to your lower back, hip, shoulder blade mounting into the floor. Softening of the eyeballs into the sockets. Get buttock and hip rolling back into the floor. Few more breaths here. And then releasing the wrist and uncrossing that left ankle. And come back into a straight line. Take your left leg off to the side of the mat. Bring your right leg over to meet it. And then coming over to the left, so we want to create that C shape along the right side of the body, holding onto the right wrist with the left hand. And see what it feels like if we were to cross the right ankle on top. And again, feeling into that nice curvature along the right side of the torso. Softening that right shoulder blade back down, softening the right hip and buttock back down. A little bit of awareness of your breath as if we're curving your breath on that top little toe all the way up. into your top little finger as you breathe in. As you breathe out, soften the breath down that side of your body. Few more breaths in. Uncrossing the ankle, releasing the wrist, coming back in a straight line, and again hugging the knees back into the chest. We're just staying holding the knees, melting the sacrum, tailbone into the floor, softening the shoulder blades down back. We're going to recline twist. So we'll straighten the left leg along the floor. And bring the right arm out to the side, taking the left hand on top of that right knee. So we want to lift the left buttock up, shift it a little bit over to the right, bring that right knee over towards the left side, and we may want to place a bolster or pillows underneath that knee. And gently turn the head to look over to that right palm if it's comfortable. So placing what we need to underneath that knee to support it, or allowing, if it feels appropriate, for that knee to soften in gravity. Make it more supportive for the spine to have a bolster or knee and pillow underneath that knee. And adjusting so we can soften that back of the arm and shoulder, right arm, shoulder into the floor. We'll be staying in this recline twist for a couple of minutes. So again, emphasising supporting that top knee. Notice when we're in this recline twist, how the breath changes. Bring it back into a sense of ease and comfort. Beautiful breaths here. And slowly coming over onto the back. Just pause, straightening the legs, taking the arms out to the side. And then we'll bring the left thigh into the chest. Take the right hand on top of that knee. Lift the right buttock up, scoot it over to the left, and draw that left knee towards the floor. Turn the head over to the left hand and place a bolster underneath that knee and leg. Or one, two pillows, or a block. Soften the back of the left shoulder and the arms to the floor. Just find the level of the twist that's appropriate for you. Settle into the rhythm of the breath. Doing the rest here. Onto your back. Come into the pentacle pose, which is kind of like a starfish pose. So straighten your legs, stick a little bit out. The arms and heads, kind of, yeah, starfish, star, pentacle. Just really sink down, just melt into the ground. Feel the breath in the abdomen. And settle into the subtle sense of the awareness of the movement of the meridians within the body. This may be felt sometimes as tingling, heat in the body, or it doesn't matter if you don't feel anything, just know that when we use these counter poses in between, it's to allow this shift of energy through the meridians. Just slowly bring the legs and arms together. Find your block again. You go into a final yin pose. Use the block. There's a little bit of inversion to bring the legs to the ceiling. So place the block underneath the sacrum buttocks. Feet are together, knees are together. Find the support through the neck and head. Draw the knees into the chest and sink the buttocks down and take the legs up to the ceiling. And sink the buttocks and sacrum down. If you don't feel this is enough, you can always do 2 blocks, or you could do the block on its side. Maybe turn the palms up, just the arms for a little bit of an opening. Allow the drainage through the back of the legs. Allow the buttocks and sacrum to sink into the block or blocks. Settle into a sense of softness of your breath again. Some sensations through the back of the legs. Blood is draining. Coldness, tingling. Deeply nourishing back into energy systems within the pelvis, sacrum. Down the foot. Let's count backwards in our mind 12 slow breaths. Slowly bend the knees into the chest, find the floor, lift the block up, move the block. Again, just hugging the knees into the chest. We'll go into happy baby to finish, so take the knees out to the side. Take the soles of your feet up to the ceiling. Take hold of the outside little toe side. See if it's comfortable for your ankle, shins and knees in line, and melt the hips. Downwards, feel the sacrum and tailbone melting into the floor. Feel a softening over time through those hip presses. Here for a minute. The last pose we do. Breaths here. Tailbone towards the floor. Hugging the knees into the chest. Then roll over to one side and make yourself ready for relaxation. Finding the wall to lie upon. Cover yourself up with a blanket. Put your guys up another blanket. Finding what we need to get warm and comfortable. When we settle into this relaxation, we're here for about 12 minutes, give or take. Yourself very warm. Closing your eyes. Gently allowing the palms to face up, the arms a little bit out to the side of your body, the legs a little bit apart. Again, just checking in if there's any other adjustments you need to make. Begin to sense the floor beneath your body. Begin to feel a sense of softening downward into the floor. Through the softening downward, sense of almost melting across the floor. Feel into the weight of each part of your body that is in contact with the floor beneath it. In contact with a prop of some kind. Feel each time that you breathe out a sense of heaviness downward into the support of the floor. Now sense into the tiny spaces of your body and the floor beneath your body. Feel you can breathe into these tiny spaces between your floor and body. Feel into the top of your body, above the floor. Invite a sense of lightness here. Aware again of your breath and your nostrils. Noticing, feeling the breath here. From the breath, observe and listen to the sounds outside of your room. Beginning to shift the awareness from sound to sound. And come back into the sounds closer, into the room around you. And now to the breath, the sound of the breath. Journey into the inner sounds of your body, the heart beating, the sound of blood beat within your veins, the sound of your digestive system beat. Feeling into the organs of your body. Enter the liver, the gallbladder. You come to the stomach, pancreas, sleep, small intestine, large intestine. Getting into the tissues of the body, the joints, the bones of your body, the skeletal system, feel into that. Visualize your whole body now. Many layers, textures of your body. Each out breath, a sense of heaviness deeper and deeper down into the floor. Then dive into the awareness of each body part as it's made. Visualize it, feel it, let it go. Begin at your right hand, thumb and fingers, palm, left hand, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, armpit, shoulder, right collarbone, right side of chest, right side of waist, right hip, thigh, kneecap, shin, calf muscle, ankle, sole of foot, top of foot, and all toes on your right foot. And now to your left hand, fingers and thumb, palm, left hand, wrist, lower arm, elbow, upper arm, armpit, left shoulder, collarbone, left side of chest, left side of waist, left hip, thigh, kneecap, shin, ankle, sole of foot, top of foot, and all the toes on your left foot. Feel both heels, the back of both legs, both buttocks, lower back, middle of back, upper back, shoulder blades, whole spine from base to top, back feet, back left, round head, forehead, right temple, left temple, right ear, left ear, right eyebrow, left eyebrow, in the space between your eyebrows. Both eyes, bridge of nose, right nostril, left nostril, nose tip, right cheek, left cheek, mouth, jaw and chin, throat space, central chest, abdominal space, pelvic space, both legs from head to toe, both arms. Feel the whole back of the body. Now feel the whole front of the body. Become aware again of the whole body. Feel into the whole physical body. Now come back into the breath. Begin to travel with your breath into the body as you breathe in and out of the body as you breathe out. Each time dive deeper into tuning up the breath. Takes into your body, tuning the breath as it leaves your body. Practicing following your breath in and out. The awareness of the breath, journey of the breath. Now come to the space behind your closed eyes. Come to the awareness of the dark, warm, infinite space. It is mind. Yoga, we call this space Chidakat. Chida is mind, and Akash is space. Gaze into the space as uninvolved, detached from everything within the space, but we welcome everything in, push nothing away. It's good to be present. Keep looking into the space as fluid. Slowly begin to withdraw the awareness of the witness. Come back to your breath. From the breath, come back into the awareness of your body and the placement of your body from the floor. From this place, bring some movement into your body once more. From the movement, stretching your arms, your fingertips out through the toes. Roll over onto the inside. Slowly come up. Find a comfortable seat upright, supporting the spine. Through length through the spine, the breath can flow, and through the breath, the energy, prana, chi, bring us vitality. Bring the palms into the heart space, slightly bow the chin to the chest. And bring gratitude into all layers of your body. From this gratitude, send the gratitude out to all people, all sentient beings, every living creature in this country and planet. May you have peace, love. My heart's yours. Thank you for this journey, this turn, the journey it's been, blessed be.
It's gone a bit dark in there. All right, my dears,